Today, we will be talking about environmental issues in Japan and China.
Japan is a country surrounded by water. This means that it is heavily reliant on the ocean for many things. Yes, such a heavy reliance on the ocean has caused Japan to damage the ocean and its marine life in many ways, such as destruction for coastal nurseries for coastal fish species, oil contamination, plastics and microplastics, and waste disposal into the ocean. However, there was a new source of pollution affecting Japan from a recent event: radiation. On March 11, 2011, the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant had a nuclear meltdown which led to radiation leaking into the environment due to an earthquake and tsunami. Now I will talk about what is radiation. Radiation is a type of light energy and we cannot see. It can be absorbed into an organism and cause genetic problems, cancer, and destroy cells. Radiation is very harmful to the environment and living organisms. How does radiation affect organisms? Since we cannot see radiation, it is very hard to detect. This does not mean radiation is not in the area, however. When radiation leaks from the Fukushima power plant into the ocean, some of the radiation went into the sediment in the ocean. Radiation may also be absorbed by the plankton and the microbacteria living in the water. Since sediment and bacteria and plankton start at the top of the food chain, many animals eat them. This is how radiation can spread from the organism to organism. As the radiation spreads in the food chain, many animals become affected and so do their offspring. The radiation also affects humans as well. Many people in Japan refuse to eat fish from Fukushima because of the radiation that the fish have been exposed to. This leaves many fishermen without jobs and hurts the fishing economy that Japan is dependent on, especially in Fukushima.
What are scientists in Japan doing to help? As of today, radiation levels are under control in Fukushima. However, it is persistent radiation that keeps appearing. This leads many scientists to believe there is a radiation leak happening somewhere. They have theories that Fukushima is still leaking or that there is a lot of hidden radiation still in the sediment. The Japanese government is spending a lot of money to research where the leaks are coming from and investing in clean technology. For our solution to the problem, we believe we should make more effort to contain the radiation in the body of water around Fukushima, as well as finding any additional radiation that may be leaking into the ocean. Even though the ocean is good at diluting radiation because it is so big, we do not want to keep spreading radiation in the ocean. As the scientists have discovered, there are still radiation leaks going into the ocean from Fukushima. In order to stop the radiation, the location of the leaks needs to be known so we can work on containing the area where the spread is still occurring. Next, we will talk about China and their environmental problem. China is one of the strongest countries in the world economically. However, because of this, they create a lot of waste due to their high pollution and the factories that they process. Today, China is known to be one of the largest polluters of the Pacific Ocean. Acid rain, which falls into the ocean from the air pollution of Chinese factories, coastal algal blooms which harm the wildlife, overfishing in the oceans. The one with the most significant impact, however, is the dumping of plastic and waste into the ocean by China. Especially microplastic on Chinese shores next to the ocean. It is said that China is responsible for at least 30% of plastic waste in the ocean. This goes back to China being such a large country with a large economy. There are a lot of people that live in China, around 1.4 billion people. This means there is going to be a lot of plastic consumption and waste dumping. Not only people, but factories as well. China is one of the leading exporters in the world, but this has its downside. Due to so many factories, many of the factories have polluted the water supply in mainland China as well as the air. Some of the rivers that leads to the ocean where the waste was dumped into, especially Yangtze River. This river is one of the longest rivers in the world, and many people and animals rely on this river, including companies where they dump all their waste and plastics. The Yangtze goes directly into the ocean and is number one for the rivers with most pollution entering the ocean.
Microplastics is a term used to describe plastics which are less than 5 millimeters. Plastics is one of the most endless ocean pollutants and the most harmful. How are these plastics affecting the ocean? Plastics are found everywhere in everyday life. However, they are not properly disposed of, and that is hurting our oceans. All kinds of animals mistake the plastics for food. Fish eat tons and tons of microplastics each year. Sea turtles mistake plastic bags for jellyfish and eat them, which leads many of them to suffocate and die. Seabirds also have been known to eat plastics. Marine mammals such as whales get trapped in plastic and have difficulty getting out and have been found to have eaten some plastics. When plastics break down in the ocean, they release many chemicals. These chemicals then enter the food chain and are passed on to other animals. This then goes all the way up the food chain to humans, where we consume the sea animals with those toxins. It is also costing a lot of money for governments to help clean up the plastics. How is China dealing with their plastic problem? China is working hard to implement new environmental laws to stop plastic pollution. Just recently, China had stopped importing foreign plastics into their country to help with their pollution problem. Also, China has been closing down factories and building sewage plants to help more effectively get rid of plastic pollution. These have proven not very effective, however, as the government does not strictly enforce people to follow these rules. What solution do we propose to help with China's plastic pollution problem? The Chinese government should use their power to properly get rid of plastics. They should also advertise more about what the plastics are doing to the environment. The government should also make aware of what the Chinese are doing to their own country and motivate them to clean up. Also, China should continue making efforts to become more energy efficient country, as they are one of the leading countries to go green.